What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 7 of our Pokemon Lazarus walkthrough. In the previous episode, we bumped into the professor's friend, Nico. We battled him and then he gave us a little side quest. He asked us to find the Team Chimera hideout in Sofo City and to go and retrieve a treasure called the Keystone. So we did that. We battled Team Chimera admin, defeated him, and then the gym leader gave us the Keystone as a reward. We went back to take on gym leader Terpsichore at the gym. We earned our 4th gym badge and now we can use surf outside of battle. So I can't wait to start surfing around. And we've just explored the last few little cellars north of Sofo City. But now, as for today's episode, we're going to do a bit of backtracking and we're going to try and tie up a whole bunch of loose ends. So it is going to be a bit of a longer one. We've just gone back to Frostlass cabin and we can now surf in this little stretch of water. We've picked up a TM and we have found Frostlass. In the stones on either side of Frostlass, you can actually pick up ice terra shards. So do pick those up. And we're going to try and battle Frostlass and try and catch Frostlass now. It's supposed to be really strong. As you can see, it's at level 35, which is pretty high. It's stronger than any of the Pokemon in our team. I'm not sure if we're going to add it to the team. We might do because it does look pretty strong. And I think it's got a really cool move set. But now we're just trying to weaken it a bit. As you can see, our Braixen and our Dartrix have both been knocked out trying to weaken it. We've sent out Eevee now and we've gotten Frostlass into the red zone. We send out a Dusk Ball and we've caught it. We've caught the really strong Frostlass. So that's one thing to tick off in today's episode. It is an ice and ghost type. But that's all there is to do in the Frostlass cavern. We have ticked that off. We're going to make our way back to Sofo City now and go check out this Frostlass and see if we should add it to the team. And then after that, we're going to head down south to the Strange Sailor. We're going to try and hop on the boat and see what our private cabin looks like. So here is Frostlass. I think we might swap it into our team. I first want to give Eevee a bit more of a shot. I want to try and evolve Eevee into Jolteon, but we'll have to wait until we unlock mining for that. We have also equipped the egg into our team. We did get gifted an egg a bit earlier on, 2 or 3 episodes back before we reached Pythos Town. One of our friends screamed and you could choose between the 2 options. And whoever you chose gave you an egg. So we're going to see what hatches from that egg. I believe there is a difference between the 2 options. But now it looks like we have arrived on Kipos Island. And we've met Mr. Russell. We hopped on the boat to reach this island. And he's giving us a tour of the zoo here. Apparently, Team Chimera robbed this place and stole all the Pokemon. That's why it's pretty much empty at the moment. Mr. Russell gives us a massive task. He asks for help. So he asks that we catch a whole bunch of Pokemon and then come back to the Pokemon Zoo and drop them off. And as you can see, there are different little enclosures. If you read the little green sign outside, it will tell you which Pokemon belong in each area. So some are just for like bug and poison types, some are for grass types, some are for water types. You just have to read each little green sign. And then when you go to the large brown sign, you can actually drop off a Pokemon there. But whenever you decide to leave a Pokemon there, it's permanent. You can't come and get it back. So keep that in mind. You want to go and catch Pokemon that you're not going to use and then come back and drop them off here. We are exploring the Pokemon Zoo and chatting to everyone, but there's not all that much going on here. You can pick up an item or 2 that's hiding about, but the main mission is to go and catch a whole bunch of Pokemon and then come and drop them off here and populate the zoo again. So we are going to do a bit of that. We're going to explore Kipos Island and try and catch maybe 4 or 5 Pokemon. We'll come back and drop them off wherever they belong. And we should get a little gift for that, but that is going to take a while to try and complete. As you guys can see, there are a large amount of areas in the Pokemon Zoo, so that's going to take you a whole bunch of time to try and catch all those Pokemon. But let's go see what's happening on Kipos Island. It's not very big at all. There are 4 or 5 houses to go and explore. There's a Pokemart, and there's a really cool statue here. So the statue looks absolutely unreal. It kind of looks like an Aerodactyl or something. He stocked up on a few items at the Pokemart and just had a quick look on the map as to where we actually are. So it looks like we are in the bottom left corner on a little island. Just to the south of us, there is another area to explore, but I don't think we can actually access that just yet. And on Kipos Island, you can actually find some really amazing Pokemon. I believe you can find Pikachu here. You can even find Ceruledge and a few other really cool Pokemon. So if you've been wanting to catch those to add to your team, now might be the chance. We heal up our team quickly and chat to everyone in the Pokemon Center before we go out Pokemon hunting. We're also going to try and get our egg to hatch, so those are the missions at hand. We've just encountered a little Pikachu, so we're going to try catch it and we'll go drop it off at the Pokemon Zoo. We've caught Pikachu and we're going to try and catch a whole bunch more Pokemon off camera. Our Wimpod has finally evolved, so we've just got Glossopod. I'm really happy about that. Wimpod was really weak, but now that it's evolved, it's going to be an absolute beast. Our team is really starting to come along. But next thing, the egg hatches and we got a Vulpix, and not just an ordinary Vulpix, it's a shiny Vulpix. So that is our first shiny Pokemon. I believe if you chose the other person and received the other egg, you might receive a shiny Wooper. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know if that's correct down in the comments below. Now we're going to head south on Kipos Island, and there is a bit of a grassy area here. As you can see, there's a bug catcher blocking us, so we can't really head further down south. But there are some cool Pokemon to find in this area. We've caught about 5 Pokemon to drop at the zoo. We quickly go to the Pokemon Center and equip those 5 Pokemon on our team. We're going to go back to the Pokemon Zoo and then drop the Pokemon off at their designated areas. I have skipped a bit of the parts in the zoo because it does take a while to try and figure out where each Pokemon goes. So the first one we dropped off was a Chikorita. We dropped it off in the middle area here. So that was our first Pokemon, and it's got a brand new home. I believe the next area we need to head to is in one of the buildings. We did catch a Lampent, which is a ghost and fire type. So we're trying to find out where to drop it off. If you try and drop off a Pokemon in the wrong area, it won't allow you to. So it's not too tricky. You've just got to keep trying different areas, read the green signs, and see if your Pokemon matches that typing. The final little enclosure is for domesticated Pokemon. So we're actually going to drop off the remaining 3 here, which is Fluffy, Ponyta, and Pikachu. We are able to drop all 3 of them off at this enclosure. So we have dropped off 5 Pokemon. I think that's enough for now. We're not going to waste too much time on today's video on this. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of it. We're going to get a little reward for dropping all of the Pokemon off here. And if you chat to the old woman, she will also give you a TM. I think for each enclosure, you might get a little gift as well if you're lucky. On our way out, we come and chat to Mr. Russell, and he's really thankful for our donations. He rewards us with a new outfit. We just got the Zookeeper outfit. So we're going to equip our Zookeeper fit, and I think we look pretty cool. But that's all we're going to do on this little island. We're going to make our way back now. So we're going to check out our cabin now. After helping the strange sailor, Mr. Parao, he gives us our own personal cabin. So we're going to enter our cabin and decorate it up a bit. As you guys know, you can buy a whole bunch of items, different desks, tables, posters, mats, chairs, and make your cabin look top-notch. But just to start things off, we got gifted some standard items. So we're just going to equip all of those in our cabin now with what we can. As you can see, we've got a little desk and chair, we've got a mat and an ornament and a poster. So there are a few things that you can move around. If you guys want to spend time and equip your cabin out to be a baller cabin, you guys can do that. It is quite a bit of fun. But now we have made our way back to Sofo City and we're going to try this battle swap challenge. We did come and chat to the guy to figure out the rules in the previous episode, but we might as well try it out. I think there are a few different battle arena challenges in the game. So here they give you 6 Pokemon. You've got to choose 3 of these. So we are going to go with Numel, Gothorita, and Celio. The goal is to defeat 3 gym challenges, and after you defeat the first gym challenge, you have an option to swap one of your Pokemon for one of the Pokemon of the gym challenger that you've just defeated. You don't have to, you can keep your own team if you want to, but they just give you that choice. If one of your Pokemon are not performing very well or aren't a good fit, you can swap them. So as you can see, we're going to swap in Stantler from that first challenger because Stantler was an absolute beast. But the battles are fairly easy. I didn't really have much of a struggle. The final 3rd challenger was a bit tricky, but we did keep our team. We kept Celio, we keep Numel and Stantler. We did swap out Gothorita, but other than that, the battles were fairly easy. We have just defeated the 2nd challenger, and I believe later on in the game there is another battle arena that we can take on, but the rules are a bit different for that one. So they do try and swap up the battle dynamics in the game, which is nice and refreshing. It's cool to swap things up a bit and not use the Pokemon that are just in your team. But there we have it. We have defeated all 3 challenges and we have won. When you get a 3-win streak, we get gifted a wishing star, which is an awesome item. As you guys know, the wishing stars will allow us to get a Pokemon at random at the wishing well. But now that we have unlocked Surf, we're going to start surfing around and doing some exploring. To the northeast of Sofo City, we just found a little island and you can actually find Scyther here. We also picked up the item King's Rock, which is used to evolve Slowpoke into Slowking. But we're trying to surf our way to the next area, and we've just come across the Mamaro Islands. So I think this is exactly where we need to be. As you can see, it's a cool little island. There are a few houses here, and it looks like they do mining or something on the island. There's a whole bunch of train tracks, and it looks like they had carts for mining gold or something. So we're going to heal up our Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. We have just found the strange sailor, Mr. Pyrao, and once you chat to him, you unlock this area so you can travel back and forth using the boat after that. You don't have to surf every time, which I think is really cool. We pick up a pearl, which we can sell for quite a bit of money. But now we're going to explore the rest of the island and just chat to everyone. We're going to enter the little houses and see if there's a gym leader on Mamaro Island possibly. We've just picked up a little revive item and we haven't found a way to reach the train tracks. But we're going to explore the rest of the island. It looks like there's a little bit of a mountain up here. So I don't know what's going on here. It looks like there's a Team Chimera Grunt. And there's also some kind of flying Pokemon with an egg at the top of the mountain. So I'm not sure how we're supposed to reach that. The Chimera Grunt is blocking the entrance to the cave, but we've chatted to one of the workers on the train tracks and he's given us a TM. You can also find a nugget in one of the carts, so go and search that cart to pick up that nugget. That'll be quite valuable. But now we can cross over a bridge and it leads us to the Sea of Astari, so it is like a little route that leads to the sea. And there's a train or two to battle here. After battling them, there is another bridge and a police officer. So we're battling all of these trainers and exploring. There are some awesome Pokemon that you can find in these different areas. Mamaro Island seemed quite big, but it doesn't look like there's a gym to take on here. So we're going to try and make our way to the next little area, which is Myurni Island. I think there is a gym to take on there. It's a bit of a bigger island. And in between the islands, there is a little grassy area with some cool Pokemon to come and catch. So I just gave you guys a glimpse of what you can find there. But we reached Myurni Island and we can actually go and chat to the sailor. We're going to end things off here and continue in the next one. Thanks for watching.